You are now listening to About That Business, hosted by Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an entrepreneur and personal coach who has helped people reach their fullest potential personally and professionally. Take it away, Rom.
Thank you, Marshall. Business housekeeping. Yeah, it's that time of year, y'all. Yeah, this the time we talked about all these businesses, but you know what? You gotta pay Uncle Sam or your state, right? Now, for those who might be dealing in sales of products, and depending on the laws of your state, you've been paying some stuff. You've been paying like a quarterly sales tax anyway, so you already probably on top of stuff. But for everybody else, business-wise, like if you performing services and everything, this the time of year you probably should have been doing it, but especially make sure all your paperwork is together. Make sure all your receipts are together. Everything that has to do with business, just keep a receipt for it. Like all the supplies that you used, all the supplies you used, mailings, like when I'm mailing out books and everything, trust me, I get every receipt. And, even at the post office, they'll say, well, if you mail it this way, it could be cheaper. But it would take longer, and, I try to get stuff there priority. And also, I told them, I said, no, trust me, I'm going to get this money back. Every single mail receipt I've written down. And I'm that type. I'm just saying from a personal point of view, anything I can really think of as business related, I take account of. And really, depending on how you use your car. Now, see, I haven't used my car really for business or like tried to use it or claim it. I haven't personally done that. But, depending on what you're doing, you can actually claim it, like the mileage and everything. And also your office space. Like if you have a home office, you can say, okay, well, that's what I'm doing here. This is the equipment I'm using here. If you have a computer or something like that you use for business, you might be able to write that off depending on the value of the computer and everything. That's something I haven't really done. Usually my write-offs are usually like supplies and paying for vending events and stuff like that. If you spend something, anything related to your business, make sure you have all of that. Now, if you have products, be sure and do inventory. Be sure, like most stores like retail stores and stuff, they do their inventory very, like really the first week in January. Now, some stores, they doing it like December 31st or something. They already counting. Depending on the size of the store, they might even stay in there all overnight or something just to count everything. But just make sure, just know what you've sold. You definitely need to know what you've sold in the calendar year 2017. You need to know everything. And, you need to, basically just have all your paperwork together, have your supplies together, know everything that you've done. And, know what you can write off. Now, sometimes, depending on the size of the business, you might could do it yourself. Like I can do my own taxes anyway. And, plus I got tax software. But, for some, as it gets more complicated, definitely have an accountant or something, or at least a tax professional. Like when I say professional, not necessarily one of those people that do it like seasonally, but like somebody, they spend their time doing taxes. That's all they do. So they can find everything for you. Very important for business because usually when businesses get caught, it's usually on some tax thing, or they didn't do anything, or they made some money. And, I know some people try to push it like, well, I had a client, that's a business expense. Actually, it can be. There's so many. That's why I say, especially, if you're not the person who can really do your own taxes and you got some complications in there, having an accountant, because they find stuff for you. Mine are pretty straightforward because I'm pretty good with numbers and doing my paperwork. I haven't had any issues. And, one of the things, too, and this is especially if you do your taxes yourself. Hold on to those receipts. Like I got receipts going back. I might have some receipts going back to the 90s somewhere, packed somewhere. Seriously, I might have some receipts going back to the 90s. Like, you want to hold on to everything because you never know. Now, with the automation, I'm not sure if with the IRS are they eyeballing stuff, but anything unusual, you need to be able to justify it. Even in a event of an audit or something like that, you need to be able to say, well, this is it or something like that, right? And also, too, and this is very important because I got caught. This is something I got caught on. Like, I had a credit card back in the day. It got behind because I've told and I've said it, and did go through a period of things weren't going as well. So, I had a credit card that, wasn't paid. I don't know. I don't remember if they tried to collect on it, but whatever the case, they charged off the credit. They just said, we don't even want the money. And they sent something to the IRS. And they were supposed to send me a 1099-C, right? And that's what they send out if they, close something or charge it off, whatever, right? And I don't recall getting it. I told them, but the IRS got it and said I didn't count it on my taxes. So, there was a period I had to pay that off, which is, it is what it is. Make sure you have everything. Like for example, I'm getting money I'm getting a lot of 1099s and money from different sources. And even though I would love just to pay, file my tax right away, to get back any money I'll get, I'm going to have to wait till maybe the middle of February or something. Make sure I have everything. One thing, anybody who's sending you something, they have to, by law, have it out by the 31st of January. Yeah, it's at the 30th. Yeah, they have to have it out by, it has to at least be postmarked by then. So you should get everything by February 7th. Everything, and just be sure and know, like any little thing too. That's a key thing, because sometimes how you might have, say you have some job or some seasonal job, and some, like in retail, for example, some seasonal jobs might last until January, which means you're still getting paid in January, and then you leave that job, do something else. Make sure you wait for that thing. All right, make sure you wait. Make sure you list everything. Don't forget everything, because there was one year I filed because the thing came in before I remember, but I received something. I was like, oh yeah, damn, I did work here for a little bit. Make sure anything, anybody you did a service for that they might have paid you for, make sure you have everything. Now, one thing you should do to cover that, just make sure you keep a log of everybody you work for and everything. Like in business in general, just keep good paperwork. Keep good paperwork, every little thing, because they'll catch you on that one thing you ain't thinking about, or you missed, or you forgot, or somebody didn't do something they were supposed to do. Because sometimes it might not be you, it might be the other party. They might forget to do something. So make sure you have everything. For vendors is tough because you can't really. I would just say this for vendors. It's just better to be honest with what you make. Or I'll put it like this: just make sure that you did all this vending and stuff. And if you going to write off the vending fees, you might want to show somewhere where you actually made some money from it. So, anyway, right? Anyway, and that's usually with the schedule SEs and everything, self-employment and all of that. So, but just make sure, whatever the case, make sure everything is in line. If you can't do it yourself, find a really good professional. Like I said, not one of those people, those seasonal tax preparers either. Find somebody who does this year round. Even talk to them, say, hey, I want someone who does this year round. If you don't have your own tax attorney, I mean, you could probably go to like one of these, shopping mall type of places or strip mall type of tax offices or something, get some things done. Right. But you definitely want to have everything in order. So anyway, right, get that housekeeping done. So, y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.